So I got to watch the Demon Slayer movie this month instead of next month when the US releases it, because in some countries in Asia, they're releasing it with the English subtitles because they're English speaking countries. So, but don't worry, I'm not going to give you guys any spoilers, but I'm going to tell you guys the spoiler free review of this movie. Off the bat, you guys have already probably heard this movie is a 10 out of 10. People in Japan were saying, because the movie came out in Japan last month, that this was animation that they've never seen before. And I think that's kind of true. There's like some like aspects of nature that were like it was animated and I thought it was like real. Like before we thought the fire was real in the last season, and sometimes like the smog kind of looked real. 10 out of 10 animation. I don't think it was anything mind blowing in terms of the novelty, like something new that some people were saying, but the fights, 10 out of 10. There is no anime that has better animated fights than this movie. This movie is just straight hands. People are throwing hands the entire movie. There's some backstories here and there. There's some emotional aspects. There's some dialogue. There's some story. The fights are just absolutely crazy in this movie. I'm going to give you guys the big pro of the movie and the big con of the movie that I thought. And the con is not really a con. I still give this movie basically a 10 out of 10. So the con that I have with this movie is that I felt like this movie should have actually been split into 3 long episodes. And for those that have actually watched the movie, you guys probably understand where it felt like when I was watching the movie, it actually felt like I was watching episodes back to back to back. Like I was watching almost an entire like half of a season of Demon Slayer. There was a lot of backstory, there was a lot of fighting, and then they would move on to another backstory, another fighting. It really didn't feel like there was enough time to process what exactly went on and really grasp the emotions and the intensity of what just happened before. Now, it's a little complicated because one recommendation I will give you guys is you need to watch this movie in IMAX if you want to get the full essence of this fighting animation. It's not just the picture quality. It's also the music, the sound effects. Everything put together is just better in IMAX. And I've seen it both in IMAX and in regular. And I will tell you, the IMAX is definitely the way to go here. So it's tricky because you have to see it in theaters to get the full essence of it, but it might be better to split it in episodes. So I don't know. Maybe they could have it 3 episodes in theaters all at different times, but just in the same year, right? That might be a little complicated. That might not be as efficient, but I feel like that would be the best way to really grasp it. For those that actually watched it, let me know if you guys agree or disagree with this. But I think if it was split up, I think the intensity and the emotions, and maybe they might have even been able to add more details if they did split it a little bit more. But I'm sure that we'll get this movie in episode format. I'm sure they're going to release it the same way that they did with the Mugen Train, where they actually, after the movie, they made episodes about it. So when the other guys from Chopped Anime, they come and they watch the movie next month in the US, we're all going to do a spoiler review. We're going to talk about details in the movie, and then I'll be able to get out my thoughts on some of the details and some of the plots of the movie. So stay tuned and subscribe if you guys want to hear that.